Perfect. And then you and I will fill in behind. Hey folks, we're gonna do a quick mic check. We're gonna go hot here in a minute. Okay, mic check, 1, 2, 3. We're good, we're good. All right, we're set.
Got it.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I feel obscure, but that probably doesn't matter.
Here, you wanna come into frame?
I could move this a little.
Wait. Come on, right here.
Okay, sure.
Like this. You're good.
Okay.
We're good? Ready to start?
Yeah, we're set.
We're set? Okay. Good morning. My name is Gary Walters, and I am the Commanding Officer of Northeast Patrol. We are here today in beautiful Griffith Park to invite and welcome our residents and visitors to enjoy the many attractions here, such as the Greek Theater, the Observatory. If you run, cycle, go horseback riding, or if you play golf, this is a place to come to do it. We also have the famous LA Zoo as well as Travel Town. However, we do want to provide some important crime information to our visitors here at Griffith Park. You will notice signage such as this. Where's our
On the board.
on the board right here? Right up there, the lock it, hide it, keep it sign posted there on the board to remind our visitors to lock it, hide it, and keep it. That means that it's a message to secure your personal property and valuables before you leave your car, bicycles, mopeds, whatever conveyances you're using. This has been, we post these signs because there's been an increase in the number of vehicle break-ins here in this park during the summer. You will see on the table some of the things that have been taken from our visitors and tourists. Car thieves target property left in plain sight, such as luggage, purses, electronics, laptops, tablets, expensive sunglasses, even passports. Very difficult to replace this. You can see our crime maps and crime statistics here to my left and right. Car thieves are targeting the most popular areas of the park. The mission of the Los Angeles Police Department is to safeguard lives and property. Here at Northeast Division, we want to make this a community where it is safe to work, visit, and play, especially here at Griffith Park. We want to thank our park rangers who partner with us to keep everyone safe in the park. Lastly, we want to recognize our Community Volunteer Program, or CVP. These volunteers complete a Citizens Academy and work hand in hand with both the police and park rangers to patrol the park. They are invaluable in helping visitors with directions, supplementing our fire watch in the park during this fire season with severe drought, and they also provide crime deterrence. When they see a crime in progress, they can use their training to call park rangers, a police patrol unit, or even the police helicopter. We want to invite any other interested citizens to call the Northeast Station and join our citizen volunteer program. In closing, be safe, lock your cars, hide your valuables, do not leave credit cards, IDs, or passports in your vehicles. If you see something, say something, and together we can all be safe and enjoy everything that Griffith Park has to offer. Questions?
Can you tell us, are these robberies being done by a specific group of people? Is this gang related? Or is this just, are these just random suspects?
I'll turn it to Detective. Yeah.
Spell your name.
Good morning, Detective Ventura. That's Michael, and last of Ventura. Yes, we've been taking a look at the park, and one thing that our park ranger has done has been able to get some surveillance cameras that are here in the park. We do look at that surveillance footage, specifically trying to get those license plates, and we have been tracking organized theft groups that have come from Northern California. We do know that from there because they're rental cars, and when we work backwards, we can see where the cars were rented and that they originate in Northern California, come down here, and they go throughout, whether it's in Griffith Park, Hollywood Division, and sometimes we'll even see them out in Venice Beach and Pacific Division. So we do share information amongst all the divisions, but we do know that some of it is going to be local, but many of them are from organized theft groups that come from Northern California down here into the park.
And are the targets, are they specific? Can you explain or describe the most vulnerable person they're targeting?
It's going to be anybody that's got property left in plain sight, but one thing that they are doing is looking for rental cars. And rental cars are easily identifiable because of the license plates and the markings that come. As they come in and out of the lot, they've got specific things that are card readers that help Hertz or Budget or these rental car companies. But these Thieves, they also know what these markings on the vehicles are. So when they see a rental car up here in the park, there's a greater likelihood that there will be money, credit cards, IDs, possibly passports, and or valuables. So those tend to be targeted and hit much more often.
What cities or whereabouts in Northern California would these thieves be coming from?
We exchange information primarily through San Francisco and Oakland.
Any violence involved in this?
At this point, it's a non-violent crime, which we are grateful for. We've had a number of follow-home robberies in the Hollywood Hills. None of that has occurred here. So there aren't actual contacts between my suspects and my victims. So I'm grateful that nobody's hurt. We're here today to try to reduce these incidents of crime. Whether you're a victim of violent crime or property crime, you're still a victim. And we want to make sure we keep everybody safe.
Detective, what's the best piece of advice, whether you're a tourist or just a visitor enjoying the park, to make sure you're not a victim, that you are not an easy target or an attractive target to thieves?
The easiest thing that you can do is put your things away. If you leave them in a hotel room, in your Airbnb, even if you lock it up in your trunk, the likelihood is that it won't be taken. So we want people to come to the park. There's so much that they have to offer, but don't leave your $500 sunglasses in plain view. Don't leave your credit cards, your ID, and please don't leave your airline tickets, large sums of cash, or your passports in the car. That really doesn't lighten the load when you come and look at these photos. Your windshield's been broken and your property's been taken. That's probably the fastest way to ruin somebody's vacation. I'm sure we can all agree. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Make it safe for our visitors and for our tourists.
Can you tell us how serious these crimes has been during summer by showing us some kind of statistics, or how many cases has been reported so far?
My crime stats are here, but what has happened, it's proportionate. COVID is ending. People are out. They want to get out. They want to hike. They want to socialize, and they want to enjoy everything that the park has to offer. So the more visitors we have, proportionally the more crime we've had, and we're trying to make a difference. We're trying to interdict that. Some of it with signs, some of it with cameras, some of it with my volunteers, but it's together. It's going to take everybody's part. But the number one thing is to please not bring any valuables and leave them in your car, where now you make yourself a target.
Detective, what time of the day are most of these happening?
There's not a specific time. These are crimes of opportunity. Some people come to the park early to go run, to jog, ride their bikes. Some are here playing golf and coming to concerts. So there is so much that this park has to offer. It's really from sunrise to sunset that people are being victimized here in the park.
I don't know if you or Chief Losarelli can talk more about this, but I'm noticing all your pins on there are all next to a road. It seems like that's the common theme. Was there talk about restricting traffic in the park or closing roads off?
Good morning.
Chief, and identify yourself, please.
Joe Losarelli, Losorelli. And we are in the process of closing off roads, but it's not because of the car break-ins or the car thefts that we've had. It's basically for the bicyclists in the bicyclists in Griffith Park. The areas that you're seeing there are like Western Canyon, Vermont, down along Crystal Springs, and that's where most of our break-ins occur, and that's because those are the busiest parking lots in the park. And so we have, the Greek night, we have the observatory that, folks start coming up here from as early as 6 o'clock in the morning to take a look at the view. They park along Western Canyon in the parking lot over here. And these thieves are in and out real quick. I mean, 10 seconds are in and out with your stuff. We had a lady, a young lady who came out here from out of state, had $9,000 worth of cash and property taken from her car on Saturday. And so, while you should be able to leave your stuff anywhere, that's not the case here. We highly recommend that you take the advice that we're giving you, that LAPD is giving you about the hide to keep it, lock it. And, basically when you park, just, look at your surroundings, make sure that you put all your stuff away before you come and visit the observatory. I mean, the area up here is fairly safe as far as violent crime, but we do have the property crimes that are occurring. Some of the things that we've done over the summer months is, you'll see bicycle patrols out here from the ranger division. You'll see an increase of ranger patrols driving up and down the canyon and stuff like that. And you'll also see a high you'll see high visibility of LAPD patrol cars over the last few months. LAPD has been, helping us out with the problems, not just here, but on the west and east side of the park. So, the best thing that somebody can do, whether you're visiting, whether you're a resident coming up here to use the park, a jogger, is, hide your stuff. Either leave your valuables at home while you're out here, or hide it in the vehicle so that they don't take it. This stuff that you see right here is stuff that, you got laptops, you got cameras, you got purses, this stuff is so easy just to shatter a window, grab it, and leave. And, before somebody really notices it, that it's happening, the people are gone, So the thieves are basically, in and out real quick.
Has this been a fairly new thing in the spike of these types of robberies or thefts? Is it like what was it this time last year? Is it higher? Is it around the same? Is there any time of year that it's worse?
Well, summer is usually our high months, but for whatever reason, this year has been extremely busy. For us in regards to the car break-ins at the golf courses, and this is the reason why, we're having this press conference, is basically to educate the public in regards to keeping their valuables. So.
Chief, I know they're scouting the cars basically. That's fine. Are there any particular types of cars that these guys seem to be picking or taking a look at? Lexuses, Mercedes, whatever.
The ones that we see that are usually targeted are rental cars, because a lot of these crooks know that what families like to rent. The Mustang is really popular, but yeah, it's usually rental cars that are hit. But it's everything. But mostly what I've been seeing, and the victims that I've been talking to are people who are here visiting from out of town.
When you talk about the idea of what's being done, smashing a window is one thing. What about a trunk? How long is it taking thieves to pop those? Or have they noticed more window smashes than trunk pops?
Most of it is window smashing. Very rarely do we see where we get them where they pop the trunk, but that's rare.
Can you speak on what's happening on the prosecution side of things, and how, are you working with your local prosecutors to, I'm assuming some of these are repeat offenders that you might be dealing with? What are we doing on that end?
Well, you want to hit that?
Sure. Yeah. When we do have somebody that's identified, we do try to file the charges. Our charges, whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor, is going to be based on the amount that's lost. We do take a holistic approach to see if they are on parole or probation. So it is appropriate based on all the cases that we have. I will say this, that it is a property crime. It's not a violent crime. So we do start as a felony. We do work with our prosecutors. We work to try to see if we can get those charges. But the most important thing is that we track them, so that if they're on parole or probation, we know who they are. We identify our repeat offenders. And when it comes to my attention that a warrant has been issued for their arrest, that warrant doesn't languish for 6 months. The minute I get that warrant, I'm sending folks that are out there to get them into custody, get them into jail so that they can't reoffend.
We're talking $950 at the level of first felony?
That's correct. So if my property loss is $950 or more, that would constitute a felony. At least that's what we try to do. And then they'll make a decision whether or not they file it based on their criminal history.
So what do you do if you become a victim? Who do you call? Is it the Rangers? Do you call 911?
Generally, it's going to be 911. A lot of times we'll flag down one of our park rangers. So it really doesn't matter if it's done through 911, a park ranger, a police officer will respond to you. It is a property crime that you can report online. A lot of people will wait till they go home or to their hotel. You can make that report online, LAPD.online, and we will take that as an online report so long as it is a property crime.
Is it detrimental to leave the scene and go to your hotel and then do that? Or, does that affect things?
It does not. If there's no evidence that we have to recover, many of the people want that police report so they can make an insurance claim. You cannot get a new ID, you cannot get a passport without a copy of a police report, and that's what we're trying to do, is to make it a little bit easier. We'd like to prevent that crime, but if you are a victim, we want to help you get that ID, report the identity theft if they steal your credit cards, and to get a new passport.
How many arrests have you made throughout the summer on this? How is it difficult to catch these people?
Most are smash and grab. They're gone. So our arrests really are going to be very rare. We rarely catch anybody in the act of breaking into a car.
Are the camera systems here effective in any way?
The cameras do give us license plates, so we use the license plate readers that tracks the activity here in the canyons, and that's how we've been able to identify Northern California theft groups. The people that are breaking into the cars will have rental cars that originated in Northern California.
What about other means of getting around? Are some guys using bikes, motorcycles, whatever?
Not that we have seen. Primarily, they're going to be in and out in vehicles. This allows them to get in, to get out, and then to hide their identities, not to be wandering around where somebody can see them, report them, and have a ranger or a black and white swoop in on them.
You've got choke points around here. I mean, there's very few ways in and out of Griffith Park. Is there any thought about possibly deploying 1 or 2 cars down there for bases here? If you're getting some kind of reports up here, start tagging people?
In an ideal world, we would love to do that. However, due to the number of the resources that we have, violent crime is our priority. We try to get out there so that we're responsive to the violent crime, but we do work with all our resources. And really, what's our number one thing? I can see here as the detective in charge of these crimes, my citizen volunteers. These guys are in and out of the canyons, they're in and out of the parking lots, and people are not offending. And I know because when my volunteers are deployed, my crime goes down. And we invite people that care about the park and want to join our crime prevention efforts. You can make a difference by joining our citizen volunteer program. Anybody else have any other questions? We've had a downturn, but we can attribute that to COVID. Traditionally, we tend to have more crime in the summer months, but that is proportionate to the amount of visitors and tourists that we have. More visitors, more tourists, more crime. Okay.
Detective, are any of the residents down below being affected, robbery towards their properties or anything like that?
We have not seen the spillage into our residential or business community. This is targeting specifically visitors to the park. Okay. All right, we're done. Anybody else need some Spanish? Spanish?